Power struggle from the right to the left. Everybody wants a piece of the check. They want to eat while the club's still in there, but they don't want to give the fans the respect. Like English clubs left you way far backtrack, then left real on Barca when they realised that it was a non-starter. Hell no, you can't sell a club for the paper. Woo! Power struggle from the right to the left. Everybody wants a piece of the check, but they don't want to give the fans the respect. Like English clubs left you way far backtrack, then left real on Barca when they realised that it was a non-starter. Hell no, you can't sell a club for the paper. Yo, this is the OT99 BANTER ROOM where opinions are shared and smoke gets served. Yo, we're back again with another one. Topic of discussion, ESL. Should it have been implemented? Should it not? Are you happy? Are you not? Today, I'm joined with Silvz. I'm joined with Sam. Let's get started. So, guys, look, ESL, European Super League, is what it's being called, but actually, you know what it's actually, I think I found out it's called the Super League, not European Super League. That probably has some other connotations to it in the future, but I know that we refer to it as European Super League because we're looking at clubs that's obviously involved being in Europe. So we're talking about the clubs that relate to us. Premier League, you got United, you got City, you got Spurs, you got Arsenal, you got Chelsea. I think I've listed all six. If I've missed anyone, then boom, boom, boom. Those teams all collectively, signed up to the European Super League. They joined up with, Perez or whatever his name is, the Real Madrid president. And they all said, you know what, let's collectively do our thing. You know what I mean? Have secret Zoom calls, WhatsApp calls, you know what I mean? And pull off the biggest coup in football history, fam. And you know what? It almost worked. But basically, what I'm hearing now is, obviously it's collapsed. The world knows it's collapsed. But also I'm hearing that there's additional stuff happening, like sanctions being taken to remove, board members or directors from the boards. I think it's called, what's it called? ECA?
What the European body for UEFA. Yeah, that's calm. They can do whatever they want with that, really and truly.
So they govern all of this stuff. They govern a lot of these teams and trying to implement change and all of that malarkey. So probably if there's anything that's going to come in future, it's probably going to go through that board. There's obviously going to be implications where we've lost Woodward anyway, so we're not going to have that direct influence. I don't know who's going to be inputting on our behalf if we're going to get any input. Same with your clubs as well. Arsenal, Silvz, Sam, United, obviously, gang. But anyway, look. Let's get into the meat of this thing. Let's get into the meat. So, are you for the European Super League or are you not? Sam, go through.
Bro, you know where we're both Sam. I'll take it, bro. You know my stance already, bro. Like, I feel like the people got hoodwinked and bamboozled. Like, it just makes so much sense to put it in place for so many different reasons. And I don't even know where to begin. Like, all right, let's look at the state of the clubs. So obviously the Prem brings in money. The Prem teams are good, we're healthy, whatever. Barca and Real Madrid, not so much. Mad debt, haven't been running their finances as great as they could have been, and all the other leagues are essentially, they're struggling to keep up with the Prem. So the European Super League, no, not European Super League, as you said, it's a Super League. It's a way to protect those clubs, shore up some finances for the future. And put them on at least a bit of a level playing field with the Premier League clubs. And then with the Premier League clubs, whilst they don't need the Super League, they also can't afford to miss out on it. So it only makes sense for them to join it as well at the same time. And then you've got to think about the other aspects of it as well, the way in which money is broken down in terms of football. Take the Champions League, for instance. Like, the money that you get for winning the Champions League is in the millions, whereas the money you UEFA bring in from the Champions League is in the billions. Like, where does that make sense? UEFA's just a middleman. They're just the organization. Set up the matches. That's it. Officiate the matches. That's it. Like, where do you really get off in, retaining that much of the money that's meant to come to you? And why is it not filtering down to the clubs? And you even get that in the Prem, for instance. Like, why Norwich? I think Norwich must have won the playoffs the other day. Why do they get why is that like 100? Why is the playoff final like 100 million game? Who's paying £50 a month to Sky to watch Norwich play football? Nobody is, bro. Nobody is. Like, we pay to watch the big games. There's only usually like 2 or 3
But
good, decent games.
who pays to watch? Who are you talking for yourself? Are you talking for
Bro,
every fan in the world?
all right,
Everyone.
cool. Put it to you this way then. Like each individual fan might be a fan of a particular club, right? If you pay £50 a month and you support, I don't know, Stoke, because this country fucking loves Stoke. You pay £50 a month and you want to watch Stoke. You don't see Stoke every weekend. So you're gonna want to watch other teams as neutral. Right? They can pretend, but and I don't believe it, but I don't think the interest is there for the I don't know, Crystal Palace Burnley every week. Nobody wants to watch that. You know, you're watching to see Arsenal play. You're watching to see United play. You know, how's Pogba performing? You're watching to see Chelsea play. Like, is Ziyech good or not? Like, you're watching to see City play. Is Sterling still on the bench? Like, you're watching the big teams and the big players and the big moments because the products are the players. Do you know what I mean? And the fans are the consumers. But the teams, which are the businesses that have to pay these players, aren't necessarily getting their fair share. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I'm the big draw, why am I giving so much of my money to the undercard? Do you know what I mean? Like, if I'm AJ, why is Lawrence, pick up Lawrence, by the way, why is Lawrence eating so much out of my card? Like, it don't make no sense. Do you know what I mean? Eat your portion for what you're worth, for what you bring to the table. Let me take my big portion from what I bring to the table. And then back to the Super League, because I've gone on a mad tangent. Fucking UEFA know that they're not paying the clubs their due. The clubs know it. And the clubs are individual businesses in their own right. You know what I mean? They've got their own finances to deal with. Do you know what I mean? They've got financial fair play in place. So they can't necessarily do a madness. So they need to, so what are they going to do for the future? Do you know what I mean? And wages are only going up. So what are they going to do? They got to do their own thing. If they could do their own thing and bring in so much more money, why is UEFA not paying them that money? Do you know what I mean? If they can get almost triple by doing their own thing, why is UEFA not paying them that money?
Look,
Do you know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna try and address that anyway, because obviously my views are opposing to yours, but in a way, in some ways, I do agree with certain points. Silvz, what are you saying? What are you thinking about the European Super League, man? Talk to me.
Well, you know, also know where I stand, and Sam has basically echoed everything that I would have said anyway. You know where I stand in all of this, man. I'm a fiend for competition, bro. I like to see competitive matches, and I like to see quality in games, bro. And the idea that we're leaving out these smaller teams and these small businesses and stuff. And what you have to realize is football has reached a point where we've gone past the small business. Oh, Aston Villa are going to make it into the Champions League and blah, blah, blah. We've gone past that. We're in an era of entertainment, and the big teams make up most of the revenue. And it's going to stay like that for a very long time. People can bring up West Ham or Leicester and say, oh, they're competing for whatever, and what do you call it? We all know that it's going to be hard for them to maintain it without significant money invested into those teams. The money that's shared among the top clubs is just too much. That's why I wanted the Super League thing, because I feel like if you had all these other top teams, not only are you getting quality games, like Real Madrid versus Arsenal, Real Madrid versus Man United, Bayern versus this, each and every week that we get to see and that we would pay for. But you would also get money being divvied up to other big clubs as well, such as I'll give an example, maybe Celtic. Celtic has got a big fan base. And if they ever wanted to enter, the Super League, it wouldn't, what do you call it? It wouldn't, it'd go a long way, and they would start competing at a high level as well. But that's, I guess, that's another thing in itself.
I mean, look, I hear what you man are saying, yeah, and there's like, I don't agree with the middleman thing. I mean, I don't agree with UEFA hogging all the P's, not circulating the P's. Because with this ESL thing and with this whole UEFA Premier League thing, it's which evil you want to choose, isn't it? We know one evil, and it's about, is this ESL is a bigger evil, in my view, it's a bigger evil. And I know that people want to talk about it and say, do you know what, right? It's going to bring in more money, which it is going to bring in more money. Clearly, I think I heard that winning the ESL will bring in like maybe over 200 million, whereas winning the Premier League brings in about 70 million. That alone is mad. The money you're getting for entering the league is mad and will probably go a long way in clearing a lot of your debts. I get it. When you're talking finance to me, boy, you can't mess with the finances. Like the people that came together are businessmen, they're tycoons, they're billionaires. Like they you know, flipping what's his name? Woodward working in JP Morgan before he even came to Manchester United. There's a big boy role there. So for me, I understand that clearly in terms of that. What I don't quite agree with is this. You're having a Super League, all of these top teams. Then you're trying to tell me that you want to make it more exciting and more competitive. Like, we like to see competition, right? The big teams against the big teams. But then in that same breath, you're saying, bro, like, no one can get relegated. Like, these top teams are ring-fenced, and they can't get relegated. See, when I start hearing stuff like that, I start to be like, wait. This is where it's a bit too financy. Because these men are coming straight from a point where, do you know what? Business. I get it. Like, you know what? Save football, innit? That's what you want to do. Save football. Save football. Ring-fence your teams. But for me, the joy I got wanting to see Arsenal get relegated this season, yeah, you want to strip that away from me, bruv. To ring-fence them in ESL. That is mad to me. For me, yeah, I heard someone else say this in another thing. Like, uncertainty is where a lot of the joy comes from. Like, uncertainty. Like, you're bringing, like, stability, like, too much stability in the sense where there's not going to be any more joy. There's no competitiveness if you're taking away that. Where's the competitive? No, really and truly, looking at this, Pep said it as well. You're giving someone... You can interrupt as well, by the way. You can jump in.
Oh, boom. Perfect. All right, cool.
Interrupt. Think about it.
I'm itching. Because where's all the competitiveness gone when you've got billionaire oil countries financing football teams and making up dodgy finance accounts for Man City to dodge FFP? Bro, there is no competitiveness in football. Bro, Bayern Munich, for instance, who were looking down their noses at the Super League, bro. Do they not just win it every year in the Bundesliga? Did they not just poach the best players in the German league to pay for Bayern Munich year in, year out?
And they take
Juve win the Italian league almost every, probably 8 times every 8 years out of the 10 or something stupid like that. And then if you take to England, which is probably the most competitive one out of all of them, it's the same, really and truly, it's the same teams that always end up in the Champions League. And whenever we get the odd anomaly, they usually get knocked out in the group stage or the first round of knockouts. I mean, how far did Leicester get in the Champions League?
But hear this. Look, if we're dating back to, I don't know, 30, 40 years, whatever it is, these teams that they're saying now that they want to ring fence, I know things change over time, but I'm just taking it for what it is, what they're telling me now, right? So you're ring fencing these teams, bro. That means if you're ring fencing these teams 40 years ago, there will be no Manchester Cities. There will be no Tottenhams. There will be no Chelseas.
I disagree. Bro,
listen, trust me. Look, we're talking about teams where it will be Nottingham Forest. We're talking about teams, yeah. Where
you're talking about fairness, though, yeah. But really and truly, a lot of these teams only exist because of billionaire owners. So where's the fairness in that?
Exactly,
bro.
There's no fairness, bro.
It will bring Aston Villa.
Like, where were Chelsea before Abramovich came in and injected all that cash? Where was City before figuring oil money? PSG.
I do know that
there's no fairness in football. It's an illusion.
They did get taken over by like rich owners. Don't get it wrong, but for me, it's just like you're talking when you ring fence these teams, you're freezing time. That's like you're freezing any potential change in any sort of growth or anything of any other person. This means that these teams are going to be at the height of football going forward for the rest of football. Like there's not going to be any...
changed.
Bro, we don't want to. It changes.
We're talking about global brands, bro. United are on the stock exchange.
I agree with it changing, but look at this. I agree with it changing, but even with this format that we have now, like they got taken over by billion-dollar owners, but City's come through. Tottenham's come through. Tottenham ain't got the most amount of money in the world. They're a big club, but they ain't got the most. They're probably,
I think they're top 10 in the world's richest clubs.
No. But are they signing checks like saying, boom, here's your 100 million. Are they signing checks like that? Yeah, they got equity, they got money in the club, and yeah, they're investing it in stadiums and all of that. But I don't see them signing checks saying, yeah, here's 80 million. Man United's still topping the charts. United's clear. Who's next behind Man United?
Man United.
Man United like fourth now.
No, in the Premier League. In the Premier League, in terms of signing players.
Well, Man United is like the biggest global brand in terms of English football.
The biggest
teams.
global brand in the whole of football, bro.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, these their mans are big clubs. This is why they're getting pulled for European Super League. But I don't see them signing that loose liquid. They ain't writing no $100 checks, fam. They ain't doing
right.
And what I'm trying to say, even though they ain't done it, these teams, are still competitive. Bro, I see Tottenham, displace Arsenal with my very own eyes. They got Pochettino. They displaced Arsenal for season and season.
But you're looking at it through different eyes though. Like look at, say for instance, I know you don't talk about the owners, but look at it from the owners' perspective. Arsenal's a bigger club than Spurs. And I don't care about either of them, to be honest with you. Like they could both rest in piss as far as I care. Do you know what I mean? But they're Arsenal are a different pedigree. Like they've got the history, they've got like go to Africa, there's bare Arsenal fans. Like they're a global brand. Like, and you don't realize it until you start seeing the viewing figures for how many people actually watch Arsenal when they play football around the world. And that's another thing English people need to get over as well. If the Prem was just English focused, there wouldn't be as much money as the whole world watches the Premier League. The whole world watches the Champions League. Like not even just Europe, the world. Why do you think Ozil had to go chill in the wine cellar after he mentioned the China thing? China's a huge market. They're not trying to risk it. Like the money in football is global. Like it's just not, and that's what the Super League was about. It's a global thing. And I hear what you're saying about fairness and competitiveness, but that's not the thing. And then hold on, because this is the other element. I don't know if we've gotten to this point yet, and we were talking about this before we started. But the way UEFA hoodwinked and bamboozled everybody, bruv, they're putting in the Super League anyway. They've announced the Super League. They've announced the Super League where teams that miss out on qualification will automatically qualify based on the history of them being in the Champions League. So it's the same thing. You know what I mean? A team could finish fourth, but if Man United finish sixth, they're not getting into the Champions League anyway.
Is that a permanent, ongoing thing, that forever thing?
Yeah.
Or is that just
that's
like
gonna be
off season, okay, and then we kick off and then we
let me find it. Let me just find this little snip that was in my group chat. Go on, continue. Because all I'm saying is that the UEFA literally pulled the wool over everyone's eyes. The broadcasters, because the other thing you got to think about, and this is probably more political, but it's about who's got skin in the game. Do you know what I mean? BT Sports have signed this stupid Champions League contract, so they're going to lose money. Sky are losing out on money on if the Super League comes to fruition. UEFA obviously. Do you know what I mean? Notice that FIFA are a bit quiet, and UEFA can't talk about ethics and the right football. We're having Europa League finals in Baku in Kazakhstan or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like, what is that? Do you know what I mean? You got the Qatar World Cup, which was just filled with corruption. Migrant workers dying all the time. They can't talk about ethics and morality and all that jazz.
Even with your examples here and there about that, when it comes to the European Super League or the Super League or whatever you want to call it, fam, please believe it's gonna be every game played in Qatar, Saudi Arabia, fam. Look, them man.
I want to watch it. I'll watch it, bro. Real Madrid versus Man United, bro. Ole versus Zuzu. Hey,
talking about fans, at the stadium, you're gonna hear the deadest commentators commentating. You're gonna hear the deadest fans talking.
Why do we the deadest commentators? Hold on. What are you talking about? They're paying top dollar.
They're gonna have them.
They'll be paying top dollar. What kind of dodgy stream are you listening to, bro? I'm paying premium press.
Have you ever listened to them American man comment on our football?
That's because you're streaming ESPN, bro. Bro, I promise you, if they put the Super League in,
defense,
the broadcasters
defense. It pisses me off. You know what I clocked here? A lot of Americans, you man that's got American ties are all for ESL. You man love this American system, I'm pissed me off.
It's not American.
You're gonna get more of this. You're gonna get more of this. Oh, the attack. He hit it so weak. It was so weak, and all of that. I'm just like, you don't know nothing, bro.
Right. And I promise you,
you're gonna have fans, in the stadiums in Qatar, wherever it is that it's based, and they don't know nothing about football. They're just gonna be applauding like this. Man, them scoring against their own team, yeah, and they're clapping like this, bro. Like, yeah.
All right, cool. All right. UEFA, how many tickets do UEFA allocate to home and away teams in Champions League in the knockout stages? I'm sure it's not a lot, especially in finals. So there's bare neutrals. So I'm just gonna eradicate that one. Let me bring it. Let me come to you with a new Champions League format from 2024. Yeah. Instead of 32 teams, 36 teams. Why is it becoming a mix between Champions League and Europa? I don't know. So new spots for elite clubs that failed. Hold on. New spots for elite clubs that failed to qualify. They're not the same thing. New spot for elite clubs that failed to qualify. One league instead of groups. One league. One league. Everybody's gonna be in one league. Everyone's gonna be in one league. Best 8 to reach knockouts, which is gonna be playoffs. Sounds a bit American to me. If you're having playoffs. Other teams to qualify through new round of playoffs. And then every club guaranteed 10 games, increasing revenue. It's a cash grab, bro. It's a Super League with UEFA logo.
Yeah.
Are you happy about that?
No, I don't want to see 36 random teams, bro. I don't want to see the league champions of fucking Bosnia versus Man United, bro. I don't want to see that.
Firms, do you really want to see Bate versus Spartak Moscow, bro?
Nobody wants to see that, bro. We don't want that.
I ain't gonna lie, it's not those games that excite me. There's a place for those fans. There's fans that would love that. Fam, I was talking
the Europa League is the place.
Fam, I remember talking about the Boca Juniors. What was it? The Boca Juniors won the other time against who was it again? Boca Juniors, the big South American final, had the whole world watching. It's not a thing, but it attracted me. Big drama, big history behind that. Don't get it wrong. It's not only about what we want, but because we're talking about us and what relates to us, look, I'm going to talk about it, right? For me, I love personally seeing that Liverpool got dropped points against Fulham. I love that, bro. I love it.
That's the Prem. But that's the Prem. We're talking Super League.
Even Super League. Don't get it wrong. Even Super League. It's just going to be like Arsenal again getting smoked by Sparks or something. Like, I love that. I would love it. Like, that gives me joy. It gives me joy. Like, don't get me wrong. It gives me joy when I see my right.
Yeah, but Arsenal are a bit of a lower level, though.
They're going to see Arsenal get smoked by Real Madrid.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Arsenal get smoked anyway. They'll be the whipping boys of the Super League.
Exactly.
They're used to that. It's fine.
You're going to get your joy, bro.
It's 10-2 aggregate things, bro. They're used to that.
For me, I don't know about you guys, but for me, if I'm watching a big game, like, I get amped up, just like for the boxing. Like, you know, with boxing, you get gassed. Man, then will come round to the yard. You man been around, boom. Man, get the popcorn out, get the hot wings out, boom, boom, boom. It is an event, bro. Yeah, that alone is being stripped. I know, like, they're gonna be bringing games week in, week out. That's supposed to be entertainment, but bro, there's something about, you know, like, there's something about just not having it at will that gives it a lot more excitement.
No, but what are you talking about? It's not exciting. No, Joe, that's not true. Yeah, I'm gonna say why it's not true. Yeah, because we talk about this every week, bro. It's about football turning into unlocking the low block when a not as good team is facing a team of superior quality. Where I think I probably blame Jose for this, bro. Jose's got a lot to answer for when his time comes. Do you know what I mean? God bless him, because only God can save him. But fam, I hate watching Man United every week attempting to unlock low blocks. It's boring. They're not good at it, and it's fucking. It pisses me off. I think last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever it was, what was it? PSG Dortmund. PSG Dortmund.
Yeah.
One of the best games I've seen in a very long time.
Woo!
One of the best games I've seen in a very long time. Champions League night. So it's what it's meant to be. It's what it's meant to be. And then the following day, what was it? United versus Granada.
Oh my goodness.
Bored as fuck. I hated it. I could have cried. It was heart-wrenching. So when they announced the Super League, I was like, this is perfect. It's just what I was talking about. European, that's the football I want to watch. Football that entertains.
Bro, you're coming from an angle.
The best players.
No,
I'm coming from I'm a fan. This is a fan perspective now. I want to watch the best football.
Bro, this ain't basketball, bro. We're not looking at it's not every day that it's gonna be
not
like
every basketball team's good.
Bro, do you know how many random I've spoken to, that appreciate a 0-0? the game can be exciting and still be a 0-0, you know.
That wasn't my point, though.
Do you know what I mean?
I wasn't talking about goals. I was just talking about the quality of the football. You
Even
can have a quality 0-0.
Ronaldo doesn't have any quality firms. Come on, man. Don't be
that'd be ridiculous.
But look, I ain't gonna lie. Maybe Granada don't have the quality that we're seeking here, but I like a team. Look, I appreciate your Burnleys because Burnley said, you know what? F what you guys think. F what you man think. I'm staying in the Premier League and I'm doing what I need to do for my club, bro, financially and everything to keep them in. They ain't gonna try and open up shop because you man want to see it, entertaining football. They want to go and do a little dunk, score a head down and go up.
The Prem's not going anywhere though. The Prem's gonna stay there. Why does that mix need to be there in what's called the Champions League, bro? It's meant to be a league of champions, league of, you know what I mean, people of similar levels. And that's another point to UEFA and their nonsense about fairness. Why do Champions League teams drop into the Europa? Man United were in the Champions League. Once we got knocked out, we should have just been knocked out.
Why?
Because it excused the quality. It excused the quality in Europa. Why is it fair? Granada have worked bloody hard to get to where they've got to, and now they've got to face a Man United. I guess plumbers versus millionaires. It's not right.
Because
it's not right.
United and Arsenal now. United and Arsenal is bringing a lot more light to that Europa League, a lot more views, a lot more attention to that.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's good for UEFA. Who else is that good for? I hated United versus Granada. I'm sure Granada fans hated it too. And the same thing goes for the FA Cup as well. The FA Cup's we won't even get into it. Like, why do Premier League teams come in at round 3? Like, there's no fairness in football. It's an illusion.
I think
it's an illusion.
Outside of the money aspect, I think it keeps that tournament alive. Like outside of, you got the money aspect, you got the entertainment aspect. I want to be entertained as well as I don't really want to be. I feel like us fans here are focused so much here on the money aspect. It's crazy because before all of this ESL came in, everyone will be like, oh, it's not my money, it's the team's money. Oh, it's not my money. Now everyone works for Deloitte, KPMG, JP Morgan, and wants to be talking about finance. Like, bro, these men are doing what's best for themselves. Let them do what they want to do for themselves. Yeah, but the sport, from when you're trying to take teams and restricting it and limiting it, and then nothing happened. Like, you play in a league, it's like a big lottery. Like, it's so dead. You're playing a league, all you guys play each other, you rub each other's backs, you're all slapping high fives going up for meals because no one's got no punishment. No one's got no consequences. Where's the fun in that? Bro, you think there's ever gonna be any more rivalries like we had when your neck depended on it, yeah, in games in the Premier League?
Of course there will be.
They will be, bro.
Of course they.
And hold on, very quickly.
I ain't going nowhere. You ain't going nowhere. I see you next week. I see you next year. I see you in training. What do you mean there's gonna be rivalry?
What do you mean? Of course there's gonna be rivalry.
What are you talking about?
There's gonna be no rivalry.
Go nowhere.
Bro, I'll be slapping high fives, bro. That ain't no rivalry. I'll be walking down the tunnel.
Hold on. Let me tell you why finance matters as well. Because you're saying how fans talk about all of a sudden Deloitte, bro. They'll complain about the money in football, yeah. But at the same time, every single transfer window, they want all the best players to come to their club. Why are Liverpool suffering without Van Dijk? They don't have the money for a quality centre back. They're getting cheapness, whatever. Arsenal are spending money in wrong places, bro. Teams need money, bro. Transfers are going sky high. Imagine what Mbappe and Haaland are going to cost. Like, teams need money, bro. The money matters.
All right, let me get on
because you'll be complaining when your owners aren't spending their own money from their own pocket on your team, when it should be the money that your team is generating itself.
Bro,
and we're harming our teams from generating the money to actually make these transfers.
Do you remember when I sent you that link? Remember when I sent you that WhatsApp showing you about De Bruyne negotiating his own contract? Football's moving on.
He didn't know. Remember I sent you?
What you said that
what the media ignored, bro. He hired his own management company. Who hired statisticians.
Yeah.
To to negotiate his contract based on statistics. So he didn't do it himself. His management company did it.
Than having a doing it for you. That would have been low. That would have been much better for the club than having a hungry man.
But what's an agent doing, bro? Agents help, bro. We had this whole conversation before. I remember this now. Like, bro, this is why players need agents. Right.
And
football players leave school, but not every footballer has Sterling and KDB quality.
Evolving.
You know what I mean, they're not coming from a position where they're already in the club, and it's just a contract extension. You're trying to get a move. You're 16 years old. You just about got GCSEs, if that, because you focused all your life on football anyway. Do you know what I mean? You don't necessarily have business in once. No. I'm being serious. This is a regular footballer because most of them go bankrupt before within 5 years of retirement. Do you know what I mean? A lot of them do need guidance and do need someone to hold their hands through all these negotiations with people with high-powered high-powered lawyers, financiers, all these people. Bro, they will pull the. What did we say? Without agents, footballers will end up like recording artists. Everyone getting bumped. Everyone getting bumped left, right, front, and center. Everyone getting bumped.
I mean,
so agents are important.
Don't get me wrong, but I feel like that is the very inception, the beginning, what you're seeing right now. And it's easy to say, oh, they don't have the qualifications, which they don't have to be able to do these deals. But over time, people will get burnt. But over time, in the next 5 years, in the next 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, people's going to evolve. People start educating themselves. People start going to courses. People start incorporating it. They would see it as it will become the norm. It will evolve. And I can see it where in a certain time frame, agents are not going to be that much relied on than they are now. I'd say that would only be for people with the required talent. But you've got to learn, right?
In football, no, it's not even just that, because a lot of top footballers technically don't have agents. A lot of them, it's their dad, their brother,
they're learning,
their uncle,
they're
because but that's because they're at the top level and they've got the top talent. Remember, football's a pyramid. There's more than people just at the top. You know, you got God knows how many leagues. How many leagues do you have? How many teams do you have? A lot of these agents already got the links and all the teams, that kind of stuff. You're going to need that middleman. So I don't see agents going anywhere in football. Like, I can see why they're required, man. They're needed, man. You need that.
I think they're needed. I think, especially early in your career, you need
absolutely
agents, to guide you
absolutely.
or to help you do some stuff, man. Once you get comfortable with how it goes on at the negotiation table, then I can see you saying, you know what, I don't need that agent anymore. I can do this on my own.
Yeah.
Which is what I'm saying.
But that's what I'm saying. That's gonna come with the evolution of it. Like, it's not gonna happen overnight. Don't get me wrong. But I can't sit here in 5 years, 10 years time and be like, yeah, it's still gonna be as heavily reliant on agents now than it is in 10 years time. With what I'm seeing now, bro, I could probably see Sterling setting up his agency where a lot more people's running through that agency, a lot more people's knowing how to do things, when to do things, and all of that stuff. I can see it.
Is he even allowed to do that as a player?
Why not?
It's a huge conflict.
Yeah, I don't see anything illegal in that. You know what I mean?
Or is he just not allowed to do it himself, basically? I'm sure he's not allowed to manage other players whilst being a player. But anyway.
Bro, I don't think it'll be managing. I just think it'll be they'll do. I can see it happening. But for me, anyway, back to the whole ESL thing. Like, for me with ESL, like I said, it would be a party. It'll be a party ground for the rich. I feel like from when you cannot be eliminated, and I know I'm stressing this, but it's so important. From when you cannot be relegated from a league, from what I've known, and you're already getting the prize from day one, for me, it's dead. It is dead. You're going to get your high-stake football matches, and it's going to, the novelty will wear off because we want more. We want more. We want more.
Man.
What next?
Do you know why I say that it won't wear off, right? Think about what the Prem is every year. It's a league, and you got your big matches. Novelty doesn't wear off for the Prem, bro.
Bro, you're gonna be shopping.
When the big six play each other, novelty don't wear off.
And then Bayern's gonna be playing Man United. You're gonna be shopping in Debenhams, picking up.
Bro, listen to what you're saying no to, bro.
Because you've seen it 20 times already in the previous years. You're gonna be like, this is dead food.
It's gonna be different.
But it's not, bro. It's basically a Premier League, but with better teams.
Better teams, bro.
That's it. It's basically a Premier League with better teams.
Better teams.
No relegation.
I don't need relegation, bro. What do I want it for? How many teams get relegated from the Prem every year? How many teams get relegated from the Premier League every year?
The top six.
Nobody cares about those teams.
Bro, that's how I know you don't care about the Prem. Bro, man like Harry Kane is dying trying to beat Alan Shearer's record, and you man are like, you care about the Premier League. The Premier League is going to die. It's going to be the death of Premier League.
It won't be the death of the Premier League.
It will.
You know what I think will happen? Here's what I honestly think will happen, yeah? I think the squads will get bigger. Squads will get bigger and you need more rotation, and managers are going to have to be on the A game. I think squads, I don't think the Prem would die.
Bro,
I see it now in that they
I've been watching Prem, it's dead. If it went ahead like it was supposed to, TV rights, all of that thing, sponsors, they're all flocking to ESL. Nobody's watching West Ham and flipping Leicester City.
But why not, bruv? It'll be on the week. It'll be on the weekend. ESL will be on
even
the.
if it's on a
ESL will be
weekend,
on the
I wouldn't even subject myself. You wouldn't subject yourself, bruv. You'll be thinking, you know what? It will
I don't subject myself more time anyway.
Carabao Cup. That Premier League will be Carabao Cup
more time anyway, bro. There's more viewers for the Champions League than there is for the Prem. Most people don't subject themselves anyway. We're just talking what was already happening. This already happens.
What I saw happening in this Premier League that I'm watching now is Leicester City for the past couple of years closing a gap. Leicester City,
yeah, bro.
But the gap they're closing is not the one you think they are, man.
Hold on. Performance-wise, right? What I saw is them saying, you ain't coming to take my player about paying what I want you to pay. Whereas before, you were talking about, oh man, pinching guys with ease. No, you want Grealish, you're paying X this. You want Maguire, you're paying this. You want Maddison, you're paying that. You ain't just coming to poach my player. This is a sign that these teams are getting stronger. These are
who owns Leicester City, by the way? Rest his soul, sorry.
Bro, have they got
billionaire Malaysians or something like that, right?
I know it's a billionaire, but I'm sure they ain't moving like.
So where did Leicester pop up from? Like nobody breaks into elite teams.
Bro, when you talk about liquid cash,
advantages.
When you talk about that liquid cash, I think it's different, man. I do think
but Leicester paid it though. Leicester paid their way to the top.
Yeah,
they didn't get there naturally.
They didn't just get there naturally.
They paid their way.
They got new owners, new sponsors.
Bro, who in their
team? The owner was himself sponsoring the shirts anyway.
Who in their team is like the guys that's got them to the top in the Premier League. Yeah, they got the business side of going, but who in their side is you're looking at going? Ooh.
Well, they won the league once. That was a bit sporadic, and everybody else is a bit of a shambles for letting that happen. But they had what? It's Kante, Mahrez, and Vardy. Those are the main proponents, aren't they?
Yeah, and
Mahrez is now Mahrez, and then what happens is what naturally happens anyway, because this is why things aren't competitive. Somebody snatched Mahrez, somebody snatched Kante, and they tried to snatch Vardy, but Vardy said no.
Still there. How about that?
Where are they, bro? They're like fourth. They're just in and about. So once Vardy bloody retires, they'll drop off like everybody else does.
Bro, look at this.
They'll drop off, bro. Leicester ain't forever. You think Leicester forever?
Leicester forever. Where will Leicester finish?
Leicester are going to break in and be permanently one of the great teams.
Where was Leicester 5 years ago? Where was Leicester 5 years ago?
Their revenues don't support that, bro. They won't be a top team forever.
But listen,
they've got a good performing team, as do West Ham. Do you know what I mean? Like people have good performing teams. Everton had moments. They don't stay there forever. Man, they'll be a top half team, maybe.
They're closing the gap. If Leicester, we went from saying top 4 to top 6. Why? Because Tottenham pissed off Arsenal, and took their spot, and now they've expanded it to top 6 because of this historical crap, and as well as other things. Look, if Leicester keep doing it, keep remaining in the top 4 spot, season in, season out for a longer period of time,
how long are you talking?
They'll be
considered. You're talking 10 years.
How long was it for Tottenham? Maybe 5 years. Well, all of a sudden now, Leicester's
but Tottenham have always been in and thereabouts in the top half of the Prem. Always. I don't know a season when they haven't. Like they've never been a run-of-the-mill team.
Who?
Like Tottenham. Put a little bit. They might not win anything, but put a little bit of respect on their name. Like they have always been.
Yeah, they've always been around. It's kind of been around.
You were never thinking Tottenham's making it to Champions League finals, were you?
No, that's Pochettino.
You know what I mean?
But
you were never thinking that Tottenham's gonna be the ones that's having some of the most sought after players in the world, like Son.
No. Spurs have always had good players that have been nicked. They just get nicked early.
People
have always been.
And it's only now. Look at what they had to do. They had to even sign a deal with the NFL to even get them to come and play in their stadium, so they could get even more money, so get more revenue, so that they can keep up.
Because people have been poaching Spurs players forever. Like, think about it. Some of the best players in the world came from Spurs. Modric, Van
der Vaart.
Yeah. See, like honestly. But anyway, Spurs have been there.
I'm probably not putting enough respect on the name, but what they've gone from is being that mid-table team, right, to a team that is now making Champions League finals, and it hasn't been that long. I mean,
they only made the one. I mean, and Arsenal only made the one. And
North London is white.
That's what it is.
North London's white.
I agree.
True. And Manchester.
I agree.
Oh, Manchester, really and truly. If you're talking about history, then it's red. But you're talking about recent sort of,
it's still red, bro. City barely have any fans, bro. Them men can't even sell tickets.
Oh, outside.
They're just that's just money, bro. Their thing's money. They've got the most stacked, bruv. Their team is Space Jam, bruv. They got the most stacked team I've ever seen.
Look,
That's why when Pep talk about Super League, I'm like, bruv, that glass houses, bruv. Look at what you lot have got there. You lot can spend 50 million on players and just literally bench them. Like that's what they do. Like it's just stacked to the ridiculous.
That's what we do.
But anyway,
bro. That's what we do.
barely, bruv.
It's true though.
Look at our bench versus City's.
Pogba's on
Look
the
at
bench.
our bench. Look at our bench. That's the psycho Mourinho. But look at our bench versus City, bro. Look at our bench versus City. City have a whole new team that will literally win the Prem on their bench. Like nobody else has that. Nobody else gets by like that.
But the thing about City is they don't spend like I don't see them spending 100 mil on players.
No, they spend 60, 70 on each and every single one.
Yeah.
But that's a lot.
It's true.
Bro,
Every single one.
Right back what you call a well-organized club. They've got the money, they've got the riches, but they've got morals in a sense where they're like, they're not gonna go out and do the man. Look, when we was after Fred, they said, you know what, you can have Fred. You know what I mean? They had a value.
But they've got unlimited resources, bro. Literally, basically unlimited resources. Even United, we've got to deal with the bloody fucking Glazers extracting money, paying interest fees, and
even with their unlimited resources, what I'm trying to tell you is they've got their standards where they're saying, you know what, I'm not going above this regardless. They're saying Pep's already come out and said, you know what, I'm not doing no 150 million euros for Haaland. He's already come out and said that. Look, Maguire, when we was both after chasing Maguire, it's United.
Pep doesn't need Haaland, bro. What's he need Haaland for? He's got Foden and KDB. Like, what's he need Haaland? Well, yeah. He doesn't need him, bro.
It's not long term.
He doesn't need him. He'd like to have him. It's a nice to have, but he doesn't need it.
Haaland will be a madness.
It's easy, bro. It's in Pep's position. It's so easy to say that I don't need Haaland. It's easy for him to say that.
Let's see them Champions League. This is what their ultimate dreams are.
Haaland's already been knocked out in the Champions League.
No, but if he's in a better team, you know what I mean? Like City,
then he'll do better. Yeah, cool. But City have already got a team stacked.
We'll see if there's no striker is gonna make them win Champions League. They could do it. Maybe they're not. Maybe they're not gonna do it. Like, let's see. But for me, I feel like sustainably long term, they're gonna want that striker. And Pep knows what he's doing. Like he knows what he's doing. He knows why he wants a striker. He's not necessarily going to go for Haaland. But I'm just saying.
He's wanted a striker because Aguero was done.
He's ruled him so far. But I don't want to see us setting ring fencing, protecting this team. Bruv, let's be honest, like, anyone can get it in the Premier League, and that's what I love about it. Anyone can get it. I don't want us going to no Super League where
anyone can get it.
I don't want that's what it will be. Where anyone can get it, but then you don't have any consequences for that. Oh, okay, you get 50.
There's consequences, bro. This is what I don't get though, bro. Nobody gets relegated from the Champions League. So what are we talking about?
Bro, you don't make
the Champions League that exists. Nobody gets relegated.
Champions League unless you earn it. Whereas this stupid Super League, you earn it without even doing nothing just because of your addition. Like it's dead. Like,
you have to win it though, fams.
Bro,
you have to.
What do you mean? You don't have to win nothing to be in there. Yeah,
no, the 15 founders ain't going nowhere. He's right about that. But again, the new thing with UEFA, you don't have to earn it either. It's a facade, bro. You can miss out and still be in it.
And I don't know much about that. What you brought to the table about the UEFA rules that's kicking in 2024, right? But they
announced it like 2 days ago.
Because I'm not even backing UEFA or Premier League or none of them like that. Like to say, because I know that they're like. It's which evil you're trying to go for, innit? Like they're both dead out there, and like, I'm all for them trying to cut out the middleman. But the format or the structure that you're coming with, it's just not the right one. I feel like from me.
But UEFA's doing the same thing but worse, bro. Because why is one league with 36 teams? How many matches? That's ridiculous. How many matches is that?
Dead as well. But for me, anyway, at least with that, you've got more inclusivity, right? You've got more.
No.
I'm going for the thing about if you expose teams to
it's supposed to be the Champions League. Why is there 36 teams? That's not inclusivity, bro. That's a cash grab.
Bro,
that's more. It's just as many matches as I can put on TV as I can. That's it. That's literally it's a cash grab.
What? Who are the 36 teams? Who? Celtic? Rangers?
Honestly, it'll be teams that would have been in Europa.
Bro,
because where else are they coming from?
You man don't have vision. That's the problem here. You man don't have vision.
No, you don't have vision,
bro. I've been looking at Leeds United, yeah, back in the days when I had Rion them man thinking, oh, Alan Smith and them man thinking, look, this club is amazing, yeah. bro, this club, I'll never see them getting knocked off their perch. Flash forward.
And how did they get knocked off their perch? What happened?
Flash
Was it a lack of funds?
Huh?
Bro.
How did they get knocked off their perch?
Bro.
How did they get knocked off their perch?
They got
They
knocked off
spent
their
too
perch.
much and didn't have the money to sustain themselves. I wish they had a Super League.
They got knocked off their
I
perch.
wish they had a Super League.
The Premier
The Super
League
League would have sustained them financially.
No, don't get me wrong. There's money involved. Always going to be money involved. Like money spent and success goes hand in hand, in my opinion. It does go hand in hand. But I'm looking at it like this. I've seen these top echelon guys team it thrown out and only just now come back in to the Premier League. Yeah, top dollar. What them men are trying to do is say, do you know what? That ain't never gonna happen again. It ain't ever gonna happen again, bro. Like I can't stress how much of joy it would have brought to me seeing Arsenal when they were squabbling there, yeah, with them relegation, bro. The joy, but you know what? I would forfeit Premier League just to see them get relegated. The joy it will bring my soul, yeah, is amazing.
This is what I'm saying. And that's why I think there's two
can't
separate issues because you can still see them get relegated. Like
I
we can
love
dream
Arsenal.
one day that Arsenal get relegated.
I
don't
love
understand.
The Prem's not going nowhere.
Against Norwich. I want to see them playing against Norwich and that. They don't deserve to be in this league, bro. They playing with Norwich. You get me? All them other Sunderland or wherever them man there. That's where you man need to be chilling. About being brought into Europe Pacific so you can be getting money to be trying to compete with us for Holland or Sancho.
It's fine. It's fine. They would have been in the Super League. They would have been the whipping boys. Nothing would have been new there.
That's what would have been.
Bro.
That's
That's
it.
all it would have been, bro.
Nah.
10-2 aggregates are buying every season, bro. That's it.
Brams,
There needs to be worse repercussions.
Brams, the thing that I
What's the
hate
repercussions?
about
All right, cool. Now you said that. What's the repercussions of getting knocked out of the Champions League? The same thing, bro. It's nothing. Nobody gets relegated from the Champions League. You compete in it every year. Only one team wins it.
exactly.
So what's the issue?
No, I agree with that bit. Don't get me wrong. I do agree with that bit. But the thing that excites me about it is what we got to do to get in it. Like what we're going through now is what excites me. But obviously, I know what you mean about you're playing in it every year. If you can't get in everywhere, you ain't gonna.
Firms, the idea of the Premiership here is to win it. The reason why I hated Arsenal, even though I've supported them for however long. Yeah, the reason why I hated us for so long here is because we had this notion that settling for the anything below second was good enough. And that's not the mentality of champions. Champions are supposed to go for first from the get-go, bro. You're supposed to just go for the title. The title is the main thing. You go for the title. This settling for fourth that we've been going for it's crazy, bro. I don't understand it. I've never liked it.
Wenger was a genius, though. It turned out. No.
Yeah.
It turned out Wenger was right, I think. But I didn't click you support Arsenal.
But how could you be getting hundreds of millions for that? That means if you were settling them, what are you gonna do now, bro? You are just gonna be getting like you when you're talking about being the spanking boys of ESL. You man, yeah, literally, yeah.
That's why I don't even know why they're in there. I don't even know why.
No, but that's why you need to be in it, though. That's why Arsenal need to be in it.
Why?
For the money. That money can sustain them. They can spend decent money on less fraudulent players like Pepe.
It wouldn't make any difference if everyone else is getting that same level of money. It will just equal out.
It would make a difference.
No, so what will happen is players will start costing more, etc. But either way, you still have a war chest to go out there with, and you'd also be earning more of your own money than, getting more for the matches that you play. So Arsenal will get more of a proportion of the money that they deserve. So it would have worked in their favor, especially since Arsenal's, they believe in that self-sustainable model where they don't, nobody injects money into the club. Mind you, United to be at the same. Like our owners don't inject money into the club, but we make stupid money as it is. I mean, era of money,
my thing is about this tournament is though, how the hell did it collapse within 48 hours, bro?
And I will tell you how. Yeah, I'm going to tell you that's such. We didn't even touch this too tough, did we?
No.
Bro, misinformation and Rupert Murdoch. Let me put on my conspiracy theory hat, bro. Everyone that's got skin in the game came out against it.
Yeah.
BT, skin in the game. Sky Sports, hella skin in the game. UEFA, all the skin in the game. They're losing all the money that they get from Champions League, and they would have just been left with Europa. And they know that's not a cash cow, not like that. And they all came out all together against it. And what were they really against if they're going to implement it themselves anyway? Traditions, bro. Clubs, all of our football clubs existed a good 6 years before UEFA even existed. Like, what traditions are they really holding on to? The European Cup became the Champions League, so you've already reformatted it already. the Football League became the Premiership. Like you've already done the same thing already with the Prem. Like it's just all these things have been done already. And UEFA are the biggest crooks for all that misinformation campaign because in the same weekend or whatever day it was, might have been the start of this week, but in the same time that they were chewing out about the Super League, they announced the same thing. I said see you in 3 years. And what the clubs are complaining about in terms of money, I heard they paid off all the Prem clubs.
Yeah.
To stay in UEFA League, to stay in the Champions League.
They've been planning this. You got the biggest minds, business minds, all coming together as a collective. Right? They've been dealing with this, probably having discussions for months or maybe even years or whatever, right?
Apparently 3 years.
3 years, bro. And what I'm trying to say is, how can you got $1 billion minds, euro, pound minds in the same room, and you're telling me no one can foresee that you're trying to destabilize or take money away from the Premier League, away from the UEFA and all of that, and no one can envisage any backlash. No one can say, okay, you know what, this is where's the plan B? How?
I don't think they envisage a backlash on that scale.
How?
I mean, because it was verging on the point of reputational damage, isn't it?
Yeah.
And reputational damage, especially for publicly traded companies such as Man United, etc., is a really big issue.
Oh, Sam, you're telling me really and truly, if we're sitting in the same room planning this ourselves, you're telling me that wouldn't cross our minds about how crazy it could get, bro? Come on.
Yeah, but from what I read, so I read somewhere, I can't remember where it was, that JP Morgan foresaw there'll be some backlash, but not to the level that was experienced. Like you don't, and I like from even me. So for instance, we've always known about murmurings of a Super League. The clubs are always talking about breaking away because they've been complaining for time that they don't get their due. You know, they bring more to the table than what they're receiving. Like it's ridiculous. We knew it was coming. I was just surprised it got announced when it did, and I was surprised in which. Yeah, I was just surprised in the way it got announced, and it just seemed all rushed, and it wasn't. I feel like what happened is it got leaked. I said they've tried to come out ahead of it because even the statement seemed a bit, really quickly drafted or whatever have you. So I just thought they tried to get out ahead of it, and there were several powers that be just trying to kill it, and which they successfully did. And the way in which they killed it, it just sounds like they paid off the Prem clubs, and they would have had to pay them out a significant amount because if the clubs have gotten together, like these are the 15 clubs, whatever they have you, or 12, however many there are, if they got together, and put all this together over many years, they would have had all of their lawyers draft an agreement, and within that agreement would have been clauses in terms of cancellation and termination. And I know for a fact, I don't know how Perez is moving right now. Perez is moving like Pablo Escobar. You know what I mean? He's a young bandito right now, but I know for a fact that he's probably looking at those clauses right now, and he's probably thinking about whether or not to activate some of those charges. Because I know that. Prime example, merger and acquisition. Companies think over one company. If another company pulls out, you usually got to pay the other company compensation. And I'm pretty sure the clubs right now all owe either Perez or whoever formulated, whoever's still in the Super League technically, compensation.
I wonder if that would still stand or that compensate, because if that wasn't, I mean, everyone seems.
If you sign an agreement and you pull out of it, yeah.
I mean, everyone seems to feel like they're got this.
And Real Madrid technically didn't pull out of the Super League, did they?
No, Real Madrid and Barcelona are both standing behind it.
And Juve?
Well, there you go. So everyone else is going to. No, I think Juve pulled out. I think so. Everyone else is going to owe them money.
Yeah.
I don't even think they will even owe money. I really don't. I think with the same.
He said it's delayed. He said it's delayed till whenever.
So he's probably not charging them, yeah.
It's not going to charge them. Suspended or cancelled or liquid or whatever they want to call it.
No, but you have to do it because you know why you put those clauses in, so you make sure that everyone's got skin in the game, and that way they can't just easily back out. Because think about it, drafting all of those agreements is time, and people's time is money.
I mean, I think a lot of money got paid out and shelled out, but I just feel like with the same mind that they thought will hold legs, with the same sort of law-binding stuff that they thought will hold legs, it's the same things that crumbled. The same energy that they had that will think it will still be standing now and going ahead now is what crumbled. And I still think because it crumbled, I feel like that will trickle down to whatever thoughts that they had about other aspects of it. I just don't think anything about that.
I think it'll be back.
It's going to be.
I think they'll be back. I think there's way too much money on the table, and they will be back. Bruv, like, think about
It
it.
comes back. It's
You're
gonna
a
be
business.
back
You're a
in
business owner, yeah.
UEFA's terms and Premier League's terms.
No,
Not
and that's why I say that they'll come back because, bruv, think about it, yeah. It's a free
all the
market.
time.
It's a free market. It's a free world.
With Burnley,
The clubs are individual business
That.
owners.
no block.
Clubs are individual business owners.
The way I couldn't give a damn about Burnley.
And there is a lot of money on the table. How do you turn that away? Like, and if they can't access it, all that will happen is that the clubs will sell out.
Yeah,
The owner will sell the club, and then the clubs will just have clubs will diminish because where are you going in terms of buying players and paying wages if you can't sustain going forward? It'll just become unsustainable.
in terms of like money, yeah. In terms of money, the Premier League football is the most popular sport on this planet Earth, right? Premier League, including Champions League and maybe some of the other leagues. Yeah, how can it be that the American sports, the NFL, for example, makes the most money out of every league in the world, bruv? It doesn't make any sense. With the amount of support that we have, yeah, we should be making double their money, bruv. They shouldn't even be competing with us. But for some reason, we're making less money, bruv.
Even if you make all the money, yeah, your club still won't spend.
No, but you know why though? It's because the money gets scattered in so many different places.
Yeah.
The NFL is one league. One league.
Exactly.
It. Football is how many different leagues?
Flipping.
How many different organizations? FIFA get their money out of the World Cup. They
UEFA.
make billions out of that. UEFA make billions out of the Champions League, Europa League, and whatever other cups they've got flying around. Premier Leagues. Huh?
I enjoy all the tournaments, though. I enjoy the fact that a club, can
but FIFA's corrupt. UEFA's corrupt.
Look, you see this area? This is because of all of them things there, you know. 1, 2, 3. Get me? Don't try and eliminate this and take this away from me, fam. Freakers.
Nobody's eliminated them though. They would have taken. I would have missed big airs. I would have missed the. I like the way that cup looks still.
Come on.
Which cup?
With the Champions League cup, it's a 30 cup still. It's 30.
And one day,
but you should have replaced it with something else. But remember they changed the World Cup. Remember they changed the World Cup trophy. You change trophies sometimes. Trophies change over time.
Trophies change, bro.
I mean, Premier League trophies new. Trophies change, bro.
You just need to stop romanticizing about this Burnley versus Man United.
Oh, chest, I can't breathe.
That thing is dead, fam. We've moved past that. We've gone past that now, bro.
Yeah, man ain't open to change, bro. It's scary, man. Everyone's stuck in their ways.
No, I'm open to it. Don't get me wrong, but fam,
you're not, bro. You're not.
The way on that reasoned me, I thought, whoa, like, are you gonna just roll up to man and tell man, rah, like, yeah, we're starting a new ASL. By the way, your managers don't know that, and players don't know that, and fans don't know that. Straight. Are you mad? 3 years of combo. That scares me, you know. It really does scare me. And we got this media that's this grease. The UK media, the Sun, the Mirror, all of them dirty, sleazy papers, didn't get a whiff of what happened. Like zero. Yeah, we heard whispers of some
airtight NDAs.
Bro, that's scary, bro. It's real scary.
Yeah, bro. This is the billionaire lifestyle, bro.
Man, it's scary, bro. I ain't trying to. I don't like how they did it. I don't like how they did it. It was a bit sleazy still. And yeah, right. I don't think for me, if it's not for the fam, do you know what I heard about one director, that went to watch, it was unnamed, I don't know who this is, he owns one of these clubs, went to watch the game and was asking next man, what's our team? What color shirt are they wearing? I'm just like, come on, bro. What is this, bro? You want to come and Americanize the sport? Man said, what color shirt is our team wearing? And you're the owner of the club.
Firms, what does it matter if they're putting 100 million and buying players for you?
Bro, I know, bro, don't get me wrong. Like, I know when it comes to the money and all of that, but this is where my morals and my love for the sport come into it, it's just that I've been screaming at a time. I've had long conversations trying to convince Sam about flipping, the owners of Manchester United and that. And I know he's saying there's nothing you can do with it. This is a time where they're at their most vulnerable, I feel like, even though some like they're not vulnerable, to me, even make some change, like, you know what I mean? Like, go full throttle. But I just feel like Yeah, they know what they're doing in a business sense, but why can't you marry the two? Why don't you even want to have an interest in it? What your business is, other than that, why don't you want to? How can you go to a team and say, how can you go to a game and say what color shirt is it? You know, you is billions worth, and you don't know what shirt. I'm just like, come on.
As an owner, what are you really in charge of in terms of football? You're not in charge of nothing. It's just money. You're not in charge of the football as an owner. What decisions do you think man's making on the ground? Man's off somewhere in his vineyard.
Yeah, that's
drinking the finest of wines and grapes. Like,
I agree with you. I agree with you on that. And that, what do you call it? Some of these owners don't have no passion for the football game. But I told you, we've entered a new realm. We've entered the real entertainment industry, whereby the small business owners that own these clubs and all of that doesn't exist anymore, bro. We are in like the money business now, bro. This is like Hollywood kind of thing, like that guy was saying in that podcast, bro. Fam, some of these Hollywood, these major, what do you call it, film owners, they don't even know what movies are coming out sometimes, bro. They're just in the money business, bro. This is how it is. We've entered that.
It's true, though.
You can't go back. Unless you want to go back, yeah, then you just have to accept that them man like, what's his name, bro? Norwich and them man are going to be your go-to teams for the rest of your life, bro.
No, man just have to accept that these teams are multi-billion-dollar organizations now.
Yeah.
With employees of like 200. It's just dumb. Like, think about it. Most multi-billion-dollar organizations have like tens of thousands of employees. These guys have got how many employees do you need in a football club? A squad of 24, 10 odd coaches, an academy maybe, and whatever, facility groundsmen and whatever.
At least they would have known what their commodity was. At least they would have been able to like identify what crest is theirs and what shirt.
Why are you bothered by that? I wouldn't even care.
Bro, that is
I wouldn't even care.
I mean, that is the basis. You're trying to control my club. And you can't.
It's not your club, bro. You're a consumer, you know.
Yeah,
bro, do you walk into Tesco and say you own Tesco because you spend all your money in Tesco?
I don't care.
You know, get straight.
Just like I back my boy. Just like I back my boy AJ. Just like I back my boy Flipping. You get me? All of them man there.
You don't own them, bro. You don't own them. You watch. We watch them. I tell you what, yeah. This is the thing.
That's
my
G.
Don't like what they're watching.
My G, even though I don't know him. It's my G. Man United is my club. I don't give a toss what anyone says, but it's mine. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't want no punk. Yeah. Bro, do you know how mad that is to me? You're trying to control man's club. You don't know the fundamentals, the basics, but you want to just be putting out calculators and doing mathematics and be telling and genuine. Nah, you got to be able to marry the two. Look, if you're coming to be, this is how I know Man United is dead out here, fam. Look, you're coming to come about when you're coming into an organization, just the basics. You're trying to go for a job. A lot of them, not all of them. Don't get me wrong, because there'll be examples. You got to at least tell them about like what their business is, what their organization is.
No, but you know why you're making a really good point, though? You know why you're making a really good point? Because where was the uproar when the Glazers were leveraging debt to buy Man United? They didn't even use their own money, bro. Man United have paid over $1 billion in interest fees since the Glazers have bought them. Where was all this passion where Russian oligarchs were buying Chelsea? Proper white, British, sometimes racist football team. You know what I mean? Like where was the uproar? Do you know what I'm saying? You've got oil money up in Manchester City, you've got Malaysians up in Leicester, you've got Americans down in Arsenal. Like where's the uproar?
Bro,
like, there's no uproar then.
You know what? You know how I feel about these guys.
Wait, hold on. But I get how you're saying, but where was the gap? Like, bro, I saw Boris Johnson talking. So why are you not protecting football teams from foreign ownership then?
Yeah, you should be kicking out them.
How have you allowed all of these things to happen, but Super League's not okay? It's just that there's no consistency, bro. It's just all hypocrisy. It's all hypocrisy, bro.
All this.
And they've bamboozled fans and consumers into thinking otherwise. But what did they do? There was a bunch of fans that blockaded Man United's training ground. I saw Chelsea fans kneeling in protest. I couldn't believe it. There was a picture. I'm not even sure if I sent it to you, fam. There's a picture of Chelsea fans kneeling in protest. And these are the same men that will boo and play his nil at the start of a football match. They were kneeling in protest of a Super League. I bet half of them didn't know what Super League was. One of the signs said, "I want my cold nights in Stoke." You're not going to lose your cold nights in Stoke.
Jeez. Let me tell you how shrewd these businessmen and how still obviously America is very different from obviously English sports in terms of thing. Yeah, Stan Kroenke, he's owner of obviously Arsenal and what do you call it, the Rams, which is like an NFL team in America. Yeah, the Rams used to play in St. Louis, the city. In where's it? St. Louis, the city in like Missouri or something like that. And usually the city pays for the stadium, innit? The city didn't want to pay for the stadium because they didn't want to put up the money for that. Stan Kroenke said, "Okay, f that." So he's moved the stadium all the way to LA. So now it's no longer the St. Louis Rams, it's the LA Rams. Yeah, because of the money aspect. Do you think that anybody cares anymore, bro? People are still flying to the stadium. People are still watching the games. The NFL is still the most popular sport in America, bro.
They ain't the real fans.
You will get over it.
They ain't the real fans.
Don't worry.
They ain't Netflix. We ain't watching Netflix. They ain't real fans, fam. Man ain't having Bronco. Man ain't doing no Bronco Manchester United, no Bronco Trafford, Tampa Bay bullshit. United. This is Manchester United.
But friends,
where you're rooting.
The fans coming these days, the younger generation fans are following players more than they're following the teams now, bro.
I know I am.
They're selling up the stuff. You Americans, that's what I'm saying. You man are selling up the soul. Man will be wearing flipping shirts that says Tampa Bay, Buccaneer, Man United. Some dead cards.
They would never change.
When wear shirts that say Chevrolet, whatever have you, or Man United. It's already got American companies on it.
Changing the name.
Isn't it? You got a Chevrolet on your
sponsor, not the name. You man will be selling out your club crest and that. Putting something like
Arsenal saw that their thing a long time ago. Ain't Arsenal from Woolwich?
Don't even call football anymore, fam. It's so
it Woolwich Arsenal, and now they're in Islington, North London.
Our stadium is called the Emirates. You dumb, bro.
Weren't Liverpool and Everton one team, bro? All these things happen, bro. Man needs to just be open to change. Anyway, let me just wrap up quick because I've got a lot going on.
Right, cool. So, you've heard it. You want to say your point, Sam? Go on, wrap up.
All right, boom. I don't know about if it's early in or early out, but I don't know, bro. It's weird. It's still early out somehow, some way, but he's keeping things ticking along, so he can stay. Super League, best thing that could have happened that best thing that never happened. Whatever you say is firms, and whatever episode you're wrong. Maguire's a dud. P6 forever. What else have I got? Hey, rest in peace, Arsenal. Rest in peace, Jose. I'm done. Wrap.
Heard it from him, bro. Guys, it was a pleasure.
Pleasure, bro.
9.
Yeah, brother.